small businesses that are starting up. We have a grant from the SBA to help companies with business plans and to get their companies going. And I told the Chancellor at the time, said, look, I'm a conservative businessman, private sector guy. I promise I'll stay here 2 years and get the center started, but then I got to go back to the private sector. Well, 26 years later, they can't get me out of here. I love the institution. I believe in their mission, and so if you see a little passion in what I say tonight, you'll know why. Let me talk, if I can, just a little bit about the. Are you taking my picture or video?
I'm video.
Your video. Okay.
Yes. I hope that's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. A little bit of background on the college. We started 40 years ago, so our 40th anniversary, 1973. We opened with 3 school districts: Aldine, Spring, and Humboldt. And they formed, if any of you were around back then, North Harris County College. And that's what it was when I came in 1987. And
we used to call it North Harvard.
North Harvard, I've heard that. And, they also have a college in Montgomery. When it was Montgomery College, they called it MoCo. And when we changed our name to Lone Star, they said, well, do we start calling it Loco? And probably not a good idea. But back then, we had the 3 school districts. Well, since then, we've had 8 other ISDs vote to join the district. They annexed themselves to the district. It's a citizen decision, and they've made that decision themselves to join. So now we have 11 school districts. They're listed in the brochure there if you're curious. And so what that means is the residents of those districts have full access to all of our colleges and campuses. They pay an in-district cost as opposed to the out-of-district, which is about half of the cost of the class for training for those programs. Anybody outside of that is out of district and they have to pay more. They won't have facilities in their community. And so I tell you that to give you an idea of the size of our district. That represents about, it's 1,400 square miles in geography, so it's a very large geography. It's very large in population. We got about 1.8 million people in that area. And we're a very, very large institution in terms of enrollment. We have almost 78,000 credit students. These are academic credit students. If you add in our workforce students, non-credit students, we're well over 90,000. And to put that in perspective, we're the 2nd largest college in the state of Texas. We're by far the largest college or university in the Houston area, and we're one of the 20 largest in the United States. And it's almost hard for me to say that. When I started, I think we had 14 or 15,000 students, and to think now that we have 90,000 is just almost hard to comprehend. But we've had steady growth over the years. In our 40 years, we've never had a decline in enrollment in this, due to a lot of things. It's due to population growth, and of course, that has the positives and negatives. You bring jobs here, you bring people here, you bring traffic here, you know, a lot of negatives. But for us, we're here to serve that community, and as it's steadily grown, our population out here, we've grown with it. Our enrollment continues to grow up. We've added 30,000 students in the last 5 years. And just think of, if you heard of a university that had 30,000 students, you think, that's a pretty big university. We've added 30,000 students in 5 years. If you go back to the year 2000, we've added 50,000 students. So we have been just on an incredible growth trend, and that's the reason that our board called for this bond election.
In the last 5 years, that growth, did it include adding any more schools, or was it just strictly?
No, just strictly organic growth.
11 schools.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, the last school district that was added was in Cy-Fair in the year 2000, and they opened that campus in 2003, and of course, now it's our largest campus in our district. They have over 19,000 students there. So we've had steady enrollment increases, an explosion of 50,000 students in the year 2000, and quite frankly, we've struggled to keep up with that growth. We projected in 2008 bond election that in the year 2015 we'd have about 60,000 students. Well, we just missed it by that much. We're about 18,000 students off already, and by 2015 we really don't know how many we'll have. So we're looking at making up for the past growth that we didn't anticipate. We anticipated added 50,000 students. We added 30, and we've accomplished that in a couple of different ways. And by the way, just to put it in further perspective, I don't think I mentioned, There are 50 community colleges in the state of Texas. I told you we're the second largest. The median size, the 25th largest college is right here in Harris County. Lee College, maybe you're familiar with Lee College in Baytown? They have 6,000 students. So we've added one entire Lee College to our system every year for the last 5 years. We've added 5 Lee colleges. So
Who's the largest? Which one?
in Texas is Dallas.
Tarrant?
No, Dallas.
Dallas.
Terrence, I think they're pretty large. They got about 5. I think they're 5th in the nation, 5th in the state. Dallas has about 84,000 credit students. We have about 78, and we're rapidly gaining on. So that Lee College kind of puts in perspective. You're adding a whole other college every year for 5 years. So